Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not, and moving on. 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 I don't know what I'm doing. With Video Game Adaptation Week, Rampage, starring Rock Dwayne Johnson, Naomi Harris, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who is on my door. Yes, the Negan poster. I'm not even a Walking Dead fan. I just like Jeffrey Dean Morgan from Supernatural, and my friend gave me the poster. Yes, it is kind of cut, but, he's on my wall. Thank you for saving the world. Well, you're welcome. I didn't do anything, but maybe... Oops. Had a bloody nose earlier this morning. Should wipe my face. Anyway, that's Batman. You know that. Let's get back over here. And this is a first for me, because I actually have a video game that I'm doing a movie review on. Rampage. This is Rampage 2 for the Nintendo 64. Yes. I did play a little bit of it before I did this review. It's fun. I was destroying building as this rhino thing named Boris. Yeah, you can't, at least you can't start out playing as this. You gotta rescue George, which I thought was fun. They keep the names and stuff. Rampage 2 Universal Tour. T for T. Fun game. I may do like a playthrough or something on the channel in the near future. Who knows? I can get these movie reviews done. I have 2 left. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. And then 6 and 7. So I got 2 movies left to do after this. Both are from this year. So if you kind of boggle your mind a little bit and try to figure out what 2 video game movies came out this year, I think you'll figure it out. So, Rampage tells the story of a chemical from a space station that falls to Earth. 3 canisters land on Earth and infect a monkey, a wolf, and later we find out a crocodile. And they're drawn to Chicago by some means and start destroying the city. It's up to Rock Dwayne Johnson and Naomi Harris and Jeffrey Dean Morgan in his southern accent to save the day. So there it is. So I know that in a video game, there are humans turned into animals, giant animals. They're here as just animals. And for some reason they made the gorilla silver. I don't know. And here's the thing though. In the movie, they really make it sort of a surprise that there's a third animal. But it's just on the cover here. Like, they really build up this thing. Because, you see George going nuts. And then you see the wolf going nuts. And these hunters led by Joe Manganiello, who has a cameo in this film. It's like 10 minutes. You don't see him again. I'm assuming he died. I don't know. And then when the twins, or the siblings, played by Malin Ackerman and some guy I've never seen before, they turn on the satellite that has this, like, echolocation thing, this, like, high-pitched thing that summons them. You see George, you see the wolf turn around and go somewhere else. You see George shake the plane that they're in and go and get out. And then you see something in ocean or lake or something turn around and swim around, so you're like, oh, something's in there. And credit to them, they don't show it, they just show that there's something. And then when you get to the 20 minutes of the movie where it's really just destroying the buildings, which is fun in the game, I gotta say, I was enjoying myself playing the game. I destroyed Salt Lake City, by the way, which was like 6 buildings. Only 6 buildings? Okay. But yeah, what was that? So yeah, then they all of a sudden like, oh, we don't have a sub in the water. And it's like, well, it's like a little lake in Chicago, so didn't think you would. But then it jumps out and you get this marvelous shot of the crocodile. It's like, yeah, that's a good reveal shot. There are some characters in this film that are introduced at the beginning of the film that disappear. You got P.J. Byrne, Jack Quaid, and this blonde chick who are introduced at the beginning, and you think, oh, they might be like research assistants helping him. Once the plot gets going, they're gone. Like, I was like, oh, hey, Jack Quaid, he was in Scream 2022, and then he was just gone after a few scenes. And P.J. Byrne, oh, I remember him. He was the sort of funny guy, Fun Destination 5, gone. Hey, blonde, she's good looking, gone. She had less scenes than the other two, but just I don't know. Naomi Harris shows up. She used to work for this company that the siblings are in charge of, and she was going after them because of the death of her brother. But like, she was in. Then later she says that she was in jail when her brother died. So she was going after them before her brother died, and then went after him again after her brother died. It's a little head scratching. Would I like to have seen the humans turn into gorillas? Yeah, but here's the thing. If you did that, I feel like it would be less. There'd be less like destruction stuff than there is already in this film. One of the biggest problems I've been watching reviews, and people's biggest problem is that they don't do enough of the building destroying. And you know, with video game movies, it's a give and take. They're gonna adapt it in a way that works for their film. A lot of this is The Rock and Naomi Harris trying to do something with George, trying to track down George, trying to save George, and all that stuff. But here's the thing. So the siblings set up the satellite so that they are led to Chicago. But Chicago is the only thing that they destroy on the way there. Like, there are cities between where they are and Chicago, but we don't go to any of them. Like, you could have had this thing, oh, they're destroying every city on the way. No, because budget. No, there's a whole bunch, like, the wolf is in the woods for a big amount of time, and, like, the crocodile only really shows up at the end. And so we have George, who is sleeping in a thing, in a plane, and then later he's out and about, but we just cut later to they're in Chicago. We don't see any scenes in between. It would have been nice to see them like destroying city by city on the way to Chicago. You don't have to have like a million of them. Just some notable cities that are on the way from wherever they are to Chicago. I'm assuming it was like, they're in Chicago. Is it LA? I'm trying to go by the calendar in my head. Map in my head. The map in my head. This way, where Maine is on this side, according to me. Washington State's over here. California over here. Florida down here. My way. You gotta flip it around if it's sitting your way. My right. My left. That's what I'm doing. So, are they going from California there in New York to Chicago? I don't know. And they don't really explain where Jeffrey Dean Morgan's from. They just say he's from the other government agency. Is that from the game? Because I don't know. I only played one level on the game, so I destroyed Salt Lake City. That's it. And this is Rampage 2. I don't know. It's confusing. It is confusing. Other government agency. What is that? And it does come off as another Rock the Dwayne Johnson movie where it's just like literally this director's worked with him before on San Andreas, which I haven't seen. And Journey to the Mysterious Island. People are comparing it. Oh, if you've seen those, you've seen this. Journey 2 is a little bit less this because Journey 2 has big monster things. But it's not like this. There's less this and that. I feel it's more family oriented, that movie, than this one. And I actually came onto this movie because of my son, who said he had seen it and it was on TV and he was talking about it, and I'm like, don't spoil anything. We watched part of it and I bought the Blu-ray and we rewatched it all the way through. And yeah, it's a good movie. I wouldn't say that it's like a fantastically great movie, but I feel like it's entertaining enough. It'll entertain you. There's some stupid dialogue. There's some, I don't know. I feel like some of the deaths don't hold weight, but it is like a fun little movie based on a video game, so you kind of have to turn your brain off on that. There's one death of the brother of the siblings where he's coming downstairs, and Jeffrey D. Morgan's like, "Would you run down 80 flights of stairs? I was about to go up those 80 flights of stairs to get you, to arrest you." I tell you what, he looks outside and he sees that there are chunks of the building falling off in front of the building, and he goes, "I'll tell you what. You give me that laptop with all the information on it, I'll let you go." You know what? Good. Okay, I'll do it. I don't even want to be part of this anyway. He gave it to it, and he went to grab this right. He goes, "You know what? How much leave that to?" "Okay, that's great. I hate this thing." And so he leaves, and there's a prolonged shot of him running out there, and then just a piece of a building just, and you get a blood spatter on the side of the door there. And it's funny, but it also like, oh, you just let that guy die. Probably should have taken him to prison, but you let him die. Okay, sound like, cause what? Oh, you probably should have taken him to prison. Let him die. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. But yeah. And supposedly there's supposed to be a sequel. I would welcome that. I don't know how you would do that unless you introduce Boris and the other two monsters from Rampage 2 that are in this. I wanted to play as George. You can't play as George. You have to rescue George. But yeah. Also, they have a coin-op Rampage arcade game in the background in one shot, and it's like, okay, I get it. Someone has seen Double Dragon because they did that in that movie too, and it made just as much sense for that to exist. Are they trying to imply they got the idea for this from that game? That would explain, like, animals directly to animals instead of humans, where they're like, oh, we played the game, we know not to test it on humans. But then again, it was an accident, it wasn't a test. And speaking of Scream connection, Marley Shelton has a cameo at the beginning of this film. And she was in Scream 2022 with Jack Quaid. I'm just putting it out there. I thought the performances were fine. I thought this was fun. You know what? I'll go out on a limb and say that Rampage is pretty good. So if you're following along, we have done 5 movies so far. Of those 5 movies, 2 of them were bad. Well, okay. Let's reiterate that. So, of those movies, Assassin's Creed was a not worth your time. It wasn't a try hell, but it was not worth your time. I would say it's bad. What was the next one I did? Need for Speed, which I thought was pretty good. That's on the good side. Alright? Doom. I gave it middle of the road, but I would say, it's probably a bad video game adaptation. House of the Dead. Bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's terrible. And then Rampage, which would be in the good section. So far we got more bad than good. These last 2, I have faith that these last 2 will actually be pretty good. They both came out this year. Those adaptations of popular video games. One is a sequel. There's a hint. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Rampage? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.